हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एग्जाम प्लस एकेडमी। आज की इस क्लास में हम डिस्कस करेंगे लास्ट 3 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर, जिसमें हमने जुलाई टू सितंबर आरबीआई सर्कुलर कवर किया है, एमसीक्यूज फॉर्म में कवर किया है विद इंपॉर्टेंट कंटेंट। तो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट ये क्लास रहने वाली है आपके आने वाले सभी बैंक एग्जाम्स के लिए। इसके अलावा इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर्स के जितने भी एग्जाम्स हैं सभी के लिए काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है लास्ट 3 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर जुलाई टू सितंबर। याद रखिएगा ये जो क्लास है वो इंग्लिश में रहेगी कंप्लीट। जिसको भी इंग्लिश में चाहिए विद पीडीएफ, अगर तो ये क्लास पूरी रहेगी इंग्लिश में, आपको पीडीएफ भी मिलेगा इंग्लिश में, ठीक है। इसके अलावा जिन लोगों को बायलिंगुअल चाहिए, हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों ही लैंग्वेज में, तो उनके लिए भी मैं लेके आऊंगी एक और क्लास जो रहेगी बायलिंगुअल, हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों ही लैंग्वेज में, और आपको कंटेंट भी प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों ही लैंग्वेज में। तो अभी की जो ये क्लास है ये कंप्लीट इंग्लिश में रहेगी। आप लोगों को अगर इंग्लिश में देखना है तो आप इस क्लास को देख सकते हैं, और अगर आपको इंग्लिश में पीडीएफ परचेज करना है तो आप लोग पीडीएफ परचेज कर सकते हैं मुझे व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू। व्हाट्सएप का लिंक आपको दिया गया है, ठीक है। इसके अलावा मैं आपको बता दूं कि मैं आपके लिए लास्ट 9 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर का क्लास लेके आऊंगी जल्द ही, जिसमें हमने जनवरी टू सितंबर लास्ट 9 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर की काफी डिमांड आ रही थी, तो मैंने कंप्लीट किया है लास्ट 9 मंथ आरबीआई सर्कुलर, जिसमें हमने जनवरी टू सितंबर सभी आरबीआई सर्कुलर्स कवर किए हैं एमसीक्यूज फॉर्म में विद इंपॉर्टेंट कंटेंट। इंग्लिश पूरा कंप्लीट, अगर आप पीडीएफ चाहते हैं इंग्लिश में तो आपको इंग्लिश में भी मिलेगा, अगर आप चाहते हैं बायलिंगुअल हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों ही लैंग्वेज में तो आपको दोनों ही लैंग्वेज में प्रोवाइड हो जाएगा, ठीक है। जिसको जैसे चाहिए आप लोग वैसे मुझसे पीडीएफ परचेज कर सकते हैं। तो कंप्लीट ये रहेगा हमारा लास्ट 9 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर जनवरी टू सितंबर। इस क्लास में जल्दी आपके लिए लेके आऊंगी, काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपको पता है लास्ट 9 मंथ्स का आरबीआई सर्कुलर। तो ये लास्ट 9 मंथ्स की काफी डिमांड थी, इसलिए मैं लास्ट 9 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर लेके आई हूँ। काफी हेल्पफुल रहेगा आपके सभी बैंक एग्जाम्स के लिए। कंटेंट जो आपको प्रोवाइड किया जाता है उस कंटेंट को आपने लाइन बाय लाइन जरूर पढ़ना है, क्योंकि काफी क्वेश्चंस कंटेंट से पूछे गए हैं प्रीवियस एग्जाम में और पूछे जाएंगे आने वाले बैंक एग्जाम्स में। तो कंटेंट को आपने लाइन बाय लाइन जरूर पढ़ना है। क्वेश्चन कितना भी डीप में है, अगर आपने कंटेंट अच्छे से पढ़ा है तो आप आंसर इजीली कर पाएंगे, ठीक है। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं हमारी आज की क्लास लास्ट 3 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर, और इसके बाद हम जो नेक्स्ट क्लास लाएंगे वो लास्ट 9 मंथ आरबीआई सर्कुलर। जिसको जैसे भी पीडीएफ चाहिए आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं, आपको वैसे ही पीडीएफ मिल जाएगा इंग्लिश में तो इंग्लिश में, या बायलिंगुअल जैसे भी आपको चाहिए, ठीक है। इसके अलावा डिफरेंट सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप लोग ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं, इन सभी के लिंक आपको दिए गए हैं, आप लोग देख सकते हैं। तो क्या क्या हम कवर करने वाले हैं अपनी आज की इस क्लास में? आरबीआई इन न्यूज लास्ट 3 मंथ्स, आरबीआई सर्कुलर, बैंकिंग लाइसेंस, फाइन इम्पोज्ड ऑन बैंक्स, आरबीआई गाइडलाइंस, आरबीआई कहता है, ये सभी कुछ हम कवर करेंगे लास्ट 3 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर विद इंपॉर्टेंट कंटेंट। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। और किसी भी क्वेरीज, कोई भी क्वेश्चंस, कुछ भी डाउट्स हैं अगर आप लोगों के, तो ये मेरा व्हाट्सएप है, आप लोग व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं। पीडीएफ भी आप लोग व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू परचेज कर सकते हैं। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन के साथ। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज Sirish Chandra Murmu appointed as RBI Deputy Governor. What is the right answer? 9th of October 2025. Okay. Sirish Chandra Murmu has been appointed as the new Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India effective October 9th, 2025 for a 3-year term. He will succeed Rajeshwar Rao. Okay. Appointed Sirish Chandra Murmu, position RBI Deputy Governor, effective date 9th of October 2025, tenure 3 years, predecessor राजेश्वर राव, एम राजेश्वर राव। तो प्रेजेंट में आरबीआई के डेप्यूटी गवर्नर, आपको पता है आरबीआई में 4 डेप्यूटी गवर्नर्स होते हैं, डॉक्टर पूनम गुप्ता, श्री स्वामीनाथन जे, श्री ए टी रविशंकर, श्रीश चंद्र मुर्मू, ये 4 आरबीआई डेप्यूटी गवर्नर हैं। डेट आप देख सकते हैं 2/5/2025 ऑनवर्ड्स, 26/6/2023 onwards and 3/5/2025 onwards and 9/10/2025 onwards। ये आप वीडियो को पॉज करके इजीली देख सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो कौन हुए हैं आरबीआई के नए डेप्यूटी गवर्नर अपॉइंट? उनका नाम है श्रीश चंद्र मुर्मू। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, RBI launches a microsite offering 360-degree views of Indian banknotes for public awareness. What is the URL of the portal? Right answer indiacurrency.rbi.org.in. Option B is the right answer of this question. Reserve Bank of India launched a dedicated microsites on Indian banknotes to enhance public awareness about currency design and security features. Accessible at indiacurrency.rbi.org.in. The portal is designed as a one-stop destination for reliable information on notes issued by the RBI. The microsite provides details insights into the design and security feature of banknotes. Its standout features include 360-degree view of banknotes. Users can closely examine each note, making it easier to spot differences between genuine and counterfeit currency. Clear explanation of security elements, watermarks, latent images, micro-lettering, and color-shifting ink are explained in simple terms to help the public recognize authenticity. By introducing this platform, the RBI seeks to increase transparency and reduce counterfeit risks. Portal indiacurrency.rbi.org.in features 360-degree view of notes, design and security details, interactive tools, video, audio, guides, games, animations, special section exchange of damaged withdrawn notes. RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra. Okay, important. Next question. RBI mandates two-factor authentication for digital payments from. What is the right answer of this question? 1st April 2026. Option D is the right answer. The Reserve Bank of India has introduced a new regulatory framework for strengthened digital payment security in the country. From April 1st, 2026, two-factor authentication 2FA will be mandatory for all digital transactions, with exceptions allowed only for certain small value cases. The guidelines mark a major shift towards advanced, flexible and secure verification method, replacing the outdated reliance on SMS OTPs alone. 2FA becomes mandatory 1st April 2026, applies to UPI, net banking cards, mobile wallets, etc. Exemptions, low value transactions as defined by RBI, permitted methods, biometrics, tokens, passphrases, OTPs, app authenticators. Risk-based checks allowed for extra protection on flagged transactions. SMS OTP still allowed as one of the factors. Important points. Okay. Important points. Next question. Who has been appointed as the chairperson of RBI, Reserve Bank of India Regulatory Review Cell, RRC? Right answer, Rana Asutosh Kumar Singh, Managing Director, State Bank of India. Option C is the right answer of this question. On 17th of September 2025, the Reserve Bank of India announced the creation of Regulatory Review Cell, RRC, under its Department of Regulation, effective 1st October 2025. The RRC will ensure that all RBI regulations are reviewed every 5 to 7 years for relevance, efficiency and global alignment. It will be chaired by Rana Asutosh Kumar Singh, MD, SBI, with 5 other senior experts from banking, NBFC and insurance. Next question. At the time of applying for RBI authorizations, a non-bank payment aggregator must maintain a minimum net worth of, right answer, 15 crore rupees. Option B is the right answer of this question. On 15th of September 2025, the RBI issued master directions for payment aggregator, consolidating earlier circulars into one detailed framework. The rules apply to both bank and non-bank PAs, with the bank exempt from separate approval but non-banks required to seek RBI authorizations. Non-bank PAs must maintain a net worth of rupees 15 crore at application and rupees 25 crore within 3 years. PAs are classified into PA physical, PA online and PA cross-border, covering in-person, digital and international transactions. Okay. तो राइट आंसर हो जाएगा 15 crore rupees is the right answer of this question. Next question. In a heartfelt tribute to Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhupen Hazarika, the Reserve Bank of India has issued a rupees commemorative coin on 13th of September 2025. Right answer, rupees 100 coin. 100 rupees coin is the right answer. In a heartfelt tribute to Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhupen Hazarika, the Reserve Bank of India will issue a rupees 100 commemorative coin on 13th of September 2025 to mark the birth anniversary on the legendary Assamese singer, poet and cultural icon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will unveil the coin at a public event in Guwahati, kicking off a series of celebrations honoring Hazarika's immense contributions to Indian culture and music. Next question. RBI set up regulatory review cell for a periodic oversight starting from 1st of October 2025 is the right answer of this question. RBI establishes a regulatory review cell RRC and an advisory group on regulations to review financial regulations every 5 to 7 years and enhance stakeholder engagement. The RRC will function under the Department of Regulation in the RBI. It has been set up to ensure a phased review of all regulations, align regulatory frameworks with evolving market conditions, technological advancement and global best practices, maintain regulatory simplicity, consistency and relevance. This move aligns with global trends in regulatory modernization, strengthening India's position as well as regulated financial market. Next question. Important initiatives launched by effective dates review frequency advisory body. Initiatives Regulatory Review Cell RRC launched by Reserve Bank of India. Effective date 1st October 2025. Review frequency every 5 to 7 years. Advisory body, advisory group on regulation AGR. Okay, next question. RBI allow banks to offer working capital loan to manufacturers using gold as a raw material. What is the right answer? 1st October 2025 is the right answer of this question. The RBI has permitted banks to extend working capital loan to manufacturers using gold as a raw material, expanding a provisions previously limited to jewelers. Effective October 1st, 2025, the move is a part of wider reforms including flexible interest rate rules and enhanced capital raising options. The RBI has amended its guidelines under the Reserve Bank of India lending against gold and silver collateral. First Amendment Directions 2025 allowing scheduled commercial banks and tier 3 or 4 urban cooperative banks to grant need-based working capital loan to manufacturers and industrial units. These loans can be secured against gold or silver used as raw material or inputs in production processes. The provisions is an extension of an existing carve out that was earlier applicable only to jewelers. Importantly, banks must ensure that borrowers do not acquire or hold gold for investment and speculative purposes. The financing is strictly linked to industrial or manufacturing activity. Next question. Under the RBI Special 1-Year Scheme for Settlement or Inoperative Accounts and Unclaimed Deposit 2025-26, bank will receive incentives between 5% to 7.5%. Option C is the right answer of this question. The Reserve Bank of India launched a special 1-year scheme effective from 1st October 2025 to 30 September 2026 to speed up settlement of inoperative accounts and unclaimed deposits. The scheme aims to reduce the large stock of unclaimed deposits over rupees 67,000 crore as of June 2025 and ensure faster return of money to rightful claimants. Banks will receive incentives between 5% to 7.5% of the settled amount, capped at rupees 25,000 depending on how long the account has been inactive. For deposits unclaimed for over 10 years, banks can claim the highest incentives, the must submits quarterly claim to RBI, which will be settled within 30 days. The scheme is linked to the Depositors Education and Awareness Fund framework. It is expected to both clear old backlogs and prevent future accumulation of unclaimed deposits. नेक्स्ट ये है हमारे सभी सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म हैंडल्स चेक कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अंडर द न्यू आरबीआई नॉर्म्स व्हाट इज द मिनिमम assessed net worth A and W required for tier 3 and 4 UCBs to expand operations beyond their home state? Right answer, rupees 50 crore. Option C is the right answer. The Reserve Bank of India plans to replace existing norms with harmonized eligibility criteria for business authorization, permission and approval for urban cooperative banks. The large UCBs in tier 3 and tier 4 with minimum assessed net worth of rupees 50 crore and meeting eligibility criteria for business authorization, ECBA can expand their operations beyond the state with RBI prior approval. Next question. In August 2025, AU Small Finance Bank received in principal approval from RBI to transitions into Universal Bank. Option B is the right answer. AU Small Finance Bank becomes the first SFB to receive in principal approval from the RBI to transitions into a universal bank after more than 11 years. AUSFB is the largest small finance bank in India, holding rupees 2.40 trillion in total business and a 40% market share among all SFBs. AU loan book grew from 13,413 crore rupees financial year 18 to 1.09 trillion rupees, and deposits increased from 7,923 crore rupees to 1.24 trillion rupees. The RBI laid out voluntary transitions norms in April 2024 and AU applied in September 2024. Other SFBs that have also applied: Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, Jana SFB applications are still under review. AU was one of the first 10 entities to receive SFB license in 2015 and began operations in 2017. Unlike others, AU was not a microfinance institutions. Next question. What major change has the RBI introduced regarding special rupee vostro accounts? What is the right answer? RBI has removed the requirement for prior approval to open SRVs. Option A is the right answer of this question. The Reserve Bank of India has removed the requirement for prior approval for opening special rupee vostro accounts. As per the latest notification, authorized dealer banks can now open SRVs for overseas correspondent banks without RBI prior permission. Earlier, AD banks were mandated to seek RBI approval before opening such accounts. Next question. The Reserve Bank of India has approved the amalgamation of fraud hit New India Cooperative Banks NICB with Saraswat Cooperative Bank as of March 2025. What was the approximate business size of Saraswat Bank? 91,800 crore rupees is the right answer. Option C. The Reserve Bank of India has sanctioned the scheme of amalgamation of fraud hit New India Cooperative Banks NICB with Saraswat Cooperative Bank. The scheme will be effective from 4th of August 2025 with all NICB branches functioning as SCB branches from this date. Customers and depositors of NICB will be treated as customers of Saraswat Bank from 4th of August 2025 and their interest will be fully protected. As of March 2025, Saraswat Bank reported a business size of rupees 91,800 crore rupees, deposits of rupees 55,400 crore and a network of 320 branches across 8 states. Next question. As per the Reserve Bank of India guidelines, what is the minimum percentage of every loan that each lender must retain on its own book under co-lending arrangements? What is the right answer? 10%. Option C is the right answer of this question. RBI released final co-lending norms on 6th of August 2025 effective from 1st of January 2026. Norms apply to scheduled commercial banks excluding SFBs, RRBs, LABs, all India financial institutions and NBFCs including HFCs. Each lender must retain a minimum 10% of every loan on its own books to ensure risk participation. Default loss guarantee DLG is restricted to 5% of the total outstanding pool. Loan portions must be transferred to co-lending partners within 15 days of disbursement. Borrowers will be charged a blended interest rate reflecting to weighted average of partner lenders' rates. If any lender classifies a loan as NPA SMA, all partners must follow escrow accounts and public disclosures are mandatory. Next question. What investment option did the RBI allow for surplus rupee balances in special rupee vostro accounts SRVs? Right answer. Government securities and treasury bills is the right answer. Option B. The RBI permitted non-residents holding special rupee vostro accounts to invest surplus rupee balances in government securities and treasury bills. The move supports rupee internationalizations and aims to deepen the domestic debt market. These investments will follow FPI norms but are exempt from short-term maturity restrictions. AD Category 1 banks must open dedicated security accounts and provide access to the NDS-OM platform. Surplus funds can be used for both capital and current account transactions. This reforms is expected to boost liquidity and yield stability. Next question. Recently, in August 2025, AU Small Finance Bank received in principle approval from RBI to transitions into a universal bank. Option B is the right answer. AU Small Finance Bank becomes the first SFB to receive in principle approval from the RBI to transitions into a universal bank after more than 11 years. AU Small Finance Bank is the largest small finance bank in India, holding 2.40 trillion rupees in total business and a 40% market share among all SFBs. AU loans book grew from 13,413 crore rupees financial year 18 to 1.09 trillion rupees and deposits increased from 7,923 rupees 23 crore rupees to 1.24 trillion rupees. The RBI laid out voluntary transactions norms in April 2024 and AU applied in September 2024. Other SFBs that have also applied: Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, Jana Small Finance Bank application is still under review. Next question. Reserve Bank of India imposed rupees 75 lakh penalty on which banks for non-compliance with guidelines on valuations of properties, empanelment of valuers and opening of current accounts by banks need for discipline. Right answer. ICICI Bank. Option C is the right answer of this question. Reserve Bank of India imposed rupees 75 lakh penalty on ICICI Bank for non-compliance with regulatory directions on valuations of properties, empanelment of valuers and opening of current accounts by banks need for discipline. RBI conducted statutory inspections for supervisory evaluations of ICICI Bank based on its financial positions as of 31st of March 2024. RBI found that the bank did not carry out property valuations by independent valuers for certain mortgage loans violating guidelines. The bank also opened maintained current account to contravention of regulatory requirements. Due to these violations, RBI imposed a monetary penalty on ICICI Bank. Next question. As per the RBI 2025 draft circular on simplifying claim settlement after the death of an account holder, what is the compensation rate banks must pay for delays in settling deposit-related claims due to their fault? Right answer. Bank rate plus 4% per annum is the right answer. Option C. The Reserve Bank of India has released a draft circular aimed at simplifying the claim settlement processes following the death of an account holder. In cases where the delay is due to the bank, compensation must be paid in the form of interest at a rate of bank rate plus 4% per annum on the settlement amount for the delay period. Next question. As per the RBI draft guidelines on claim settlement, what is the maximum thresholds limit bank must set for claims without nominations of survivor clauses based on their risk management policies? Right answer, rupees 15 lakh is the right answer, option C. Bank must implement an easy procedure for claims on account where there is no nomination or in joint accounts without nominee or survivor clauses to prevent hardship on to claimants or legal thresholds. A threshold limit of rupees 15 lakh must be set by banks based on their risk management policies for such claims. Claims must be settled within 15 days after receiving all required documents. For local or articles is safe custody claims, banks must process the claim and notifying the claimant within 15 days to schedule the inventory of the lockers or articles. Next question. According to the report, the Reserve Bank of India outlines 7 guiding principles for AI adoptions in the financial sector. Which of the following is not one of the 7 foundational principles sutras recommended by the committee? Profit maximization is the right answer. A committee set up by the Reserve Bank of India has submitted a report on framework for responsible and ethical enablement of AI, artificial intelligence free AI in the financial sector. The committee recommended a forward-looking approach with 7 foundational principles, sutras, and 26 actionable recommendations under 6 strategic pillars. The 7 sutras are trust in the foundation, people first, innovation over restraint, fairness and equity, accountability, understandable by design and safety, resilience and sustainability. Next question. Under which section of the RBI Act 1934 were the scores of 16 NBFCs originally cancelled? Section 45I, option A is the right answer. The Reserve Bank of India has restored the certificate of registration of 2 NBFCs, Sabros Finvest Private Limited, Alpine Finlease Limited. The restoration followed favorable orders from the Appellate Authority and relevant courts. The RBI cancelled course of 16 NBFCs under Section 45I of the RBI Act 1934, prohibiting them from NBFCs related activities. Next question. What is the major changes in settlement under the Reserve Bank of India check truncation system reform? CTS reform. Right answer, settlement will shift to same day hourly settlements. Option B is the right answer. On 13th of August 2025, the Reserve Bank of India will transition the CTS to a continuous clearing and settlement on realizations in 2 phases. Phase 1 begins on 4th of October 2025 and Phase 2 on 3rd of Jan 2026. The current batch-based system T plus 1 or T plus 2 will be replaced by same-day hourly settlement. Checks will be scanned and sent continuously between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. with confirmation by drawee banks until 7 p.m. In Phase 1, checks not confirmed by 7 p.m. will be deemed approved in Phase 2. Confirmation must occur within T plus 3 hours of presentation. This move aims to reduce settlement risk, improve customer experience, and enhance banking efficiency. As per the Reserve Bank of India guidelines, what is the minimum percentage of every loan that each lender must retain on its own books under co-lending arrangements? What is the right answer? 10%. Option C is the right answer of this question. RBI released final co-lending norms on August 6, 2025, effective from 1st of Jan 2026. Norms apply to scheduled commercial banks excluding SFBs, RRBs, LABs, all India financial institutions and NBFCs including HFCs. Each lender must retain a minimum 10% of every loan on its own books to ensure risk participation. Default loss guarantee is restricted to 5% of the total outstanding pool. Loan portion must be transferred to co-lending partners within 15 days of disbursement. Borrowers will be charged a blended interest rate reflecting the weighted average of partner lenders' rates. If any lender classifies a loan as NPA SMA, all partners must follow escrow accounts and public disclosures are mandatory. Next question. RBI announces three major initiative doorstep KYC camp simplified claims for deceased customers. RBI has directed banks to organize special camps at the panchayat level from July 1st to 30 of September 2025. With the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana PMJDY completing 10 years, a large number of bank accounts are now due for re-KYC, know your customer updates. To make this process easier, the RBI has directed banks to organize special camps at the panchayat level from July 1st to September 30. These camps will not only help account holder update their KYC details but also provide information on micro insurance schemes, promote pension plans for rural customers, offer grievances redressal facilities on the spot. Next question. RBI had decided to transition CTS to continuous clearing and settlement on realization in two phases. Phase 2 shall be implemented from 3rd of January 2026. Option C is the right answer. It has been decided to transition CTS to continuous clearing and settlement on realization in two phases. Phase 1 shall be implemented on 4th of October 2025 and Phase 2 on 3rd of Jan 2026. This directive is issued under Section 10 to read with Section 18 of Payment and Settlement System Act 2007, Act 51 of 2007. Modalities of continuous clearing with settlement on realizations in CTS. First, single presentation session with continuous delivery. For first जो रहेगा there shall be a single presentation session from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Checks received by the branches shall be scanned and sent to the clearing houses by the banks immediately and continuously during the presentation session. The clearing house will in turn release the check images and drawing banks on a continuous basis. Second, continuous inward processing and confirmation by banks. First, the confirmation session shall start 10 a.m. to close at 7 p.m. For every check presented, the drawing bank shall generate either positive confirmation for honored checks or negative confirmation for dishonored checks. Each checks will contain the item expiry time, which indicates the latest time by which confirmation for the presented instruments needs to be provided by the drawing banks. Processing by drawing banks is to be done continuously throughout the day and on a real-time basis as soon as check images are received. Information of positive negative confirmation shall be sent by drawing banks to the clearing house immediately after processing. Time available in inward processing during phase 1 from October 4 to Jan 2, 2026. Drawing banks shall be required to confirm positively, negatively check presented on them latest by end of confirmation session 7 p.m. as those will be deemed to have been approved and included for settlement. Item expiry time for all checks shall be set as 7 p.m. in phase 1. In phase 2, from Jan 3rd, 2026, the item expiry time of checks shall be changed to T+3 clear hours. For example, the checks received by drawing banks between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. will have to be confirmed positively or negatively by them by 2 p.m. 3 hours from 11 a.m. Checks for which confirmation is not provided by the drawee banks in the prescribed 3 hours shall be treated as deemed approved and included for settlement at 2 p.m. Settlement on realizations. No accounting entries will be posted for presentation of checks. Starting from 11 a.m., settlement will be arrived every hour till the end of confirmation session based on the positive confirmation received from drawee banks and check considered deemed approved. Third, no accounting entries shall be passed for check with negative confirmation. Releasing payment to customer on completions of settlement, clearing house shall release the information of positive and negative confirmations to the presenting banks. The presenting bank shall process the same and release the payment to the customer immediately but not later than 1 hour from successful settlement subject to usual safeguards. Next question. What was the amount of liquidity injected by the Reserve Bank of India through the variable rate repo VRR auction on 23rd of July 2025? Right answer 50,000 crore rupees is the right answer, option B. On 23rd of July 2025, the Reserve Bank of India conducted a surprise 2-day variable rate repo auctions VRR auctions to inject rupees 50,000 crore into the banking system. Reasons: the overnight call money rate had surged to 5.79%, breaching the repo rate of 5.50%, prompting RBI to shift its liquidity stance from absorptions to injections. Liquidity strains despite a surplus of Rupees 2.42 lakh crore, nearly rupees 2 lakh crore was locked in reverse repo operations, leaving only rupees 42,000 crore as usable liquidity. Auctions outcome: banks bid 71,902 crore rupees. RBI accepted rupees 50,001 crore at a weighted average rate of 5.58%. Impact: the move helped stabilize short-term rates and signaled RBI commitment to maintaining monetary policy alignment. Next question. According to the Reserve Bank of India, imposed a penalty of rupees 2.70 lakh on Shriram Finance Limited for violating provisions under which act? Right answer RBI Digital Lending Directions 2025. Option C is the right answer. The Reserve Bank of India imposed a monetary penalty of rupees 2.70 lakh on Shriram Finance Limited for violating provisions of the RBL Digital Lending Directions 2025. The penalty on SFL was imposed under the powers granted by Section 58G and Section 58B of the RBI Act 1934. RBI clarifies that this penalty is for regulatory non-compliance and does not affect the validity of any transactions or agreements between Shriram Finance and its customers. Shriram Finance Limited is one of India's largest retail non-banking financial companies. Separately, RBI imposed a monetary penalty of rupees 4.88 lakh on HDFC Bank Limited. The penalty on HDFC Bank was imposed under Section 11 of Foreign Exchange Management Act FEMA 1999. The violations involve granting a term loan to a client without adherence to FEMA norms. Next question. Who has been appointed as the new CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the Reserve Bank of India Innovation Hub RBIH in 2025? Sahil Kini, option C is the right answer. Sahil Kini, a veteran fintech entrepreneur and a former Setu co-founder, has been named the new Chief Executive Officers of the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub RBIH in Bengaluru, succeeding Rajesh Bansal, who completed his 4-year term earlier in 2025. About the Reserve Bank of India यानी कि RBI Innovation Hub established in 2022 as a fully owned RBI arms in Bengaluru, mandate drive collaboration among government banks, startups and tech firms to spur inclusive lending, fraud prevention, and digital financial infrastructure. Next question. According to the RBI Financial Stability Report, how is India's financial system currently described? Right answer, resilience and well capitalized is the right answer of this question. Option C. Despite global uncertainties, India's financial system remains resilient and well capitalized as per the Reserve Bank of India Financial Stability Report (FSR). Scheduled commercial banks has improved asset quality with gross non-performing assets (GNPA) near multi-decade lows. Stress test indicates that banks' capital adequacy ratio (CRAR) will remain comfortably above minimum regulatory requirements even under several adverse scenarios. RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra highlighted the strength of banking and non-banking sectors with healthy balance sheets supporting economic stability. Structural challenges include trade fragmentation, rapid technology disruptions, climate change, and geopolitical tensions, making economic forecasts difficult and policy intervention challenging. Next question. As per the RBI revised guidelines issued on 11th of July 2025, what is the maximum loan to value LTV ratio allowed for agriculture and MSME loan up to rupees 2.5 lakh where gold or silver is voluntarily pledged? Right answer 85%. Option A is the right answer. On 11th of July 2025, the RBI issued revised guidelines allowing voluntary pledging of gold and silver as a collateral for agriculture and MSME loans even within the collateral-free limit. Important key highlights: voluntary collateral, borrowers can offer gold, silver willingly, banks cannot insist on it. Collateral-free limit loan up to rupees 2 lakh remain collateral-free, but voluntary pledges are now permitted without breaching norms. LTV ratio up to rupees 2.5 lakh 80% to rupees 2.5 to 5 lakh 80%, above rupees 5 lakh 75%. Applicability rules apply to commercial banks, RRBs, cooperative banks, and small finance bank. Purpose is enhance credit access, especially in rural areas, and reduce reliance on informal lenders. Next question. Recently, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, proposed creating a financial conditions index (FCI) for India with a daily frequency to enhance real-time monitoring of the country's financial health. Since which base year will the financial market conditions be compared in the RBI FCI? Right answer 2012 is the right answer. Option D. Reserve Bank of India has proposed creating a financial conditions index (FCI) for India with the daily frequency to enhance real-time monitoring of the country's financial health. The index aims to provide a high frequency gauge of how tight or easy financial market conditions are compared to their historical average since 2012. Next question. What is the maximum that a single regulated entity such as a bank or NBFC can invest in an AIF scheme under the revised norms? 10% of the AIF corpus. Option B is the right answer. On 29th of July, the RBI issued relaxed norms for lenders investing in alternative investment fund scheme under the new investment in AIF Directions 2025. Individual cap. First, individual cap, a single regulated entity, RE like a bank or NBFC, can invest up to 10% of an AIF scheme's corpus. Second, collective cap, all REs together can invest up to 20% of the corpus, up from 15% in draft norms. Third, provisioning rule eased. If an AIF invests in a debtor company of the lender excluding equity instruments, the lender must now provisions only proportionality, not 100%. Fourth, equity carve out. Investment in equity shares, CCPs or CCDs are excluded from provisioning norms. Fifth, these changes aims to balance risk management with growth, especially after concerns over loan evergreening via AIF. Next, the new norms take effect from Jan 1st, 2026, but lenders may adopt them earlier based on internal policy. Next question. RBI prepayment charge or loans directions 2025 shall be applicable to all loans and advances sanctioned or renewed on or after 1st of Jan 2026. These directions shall be called the Reserve Bank of India Prepayment Charges on Loan Directions 2025. These directions shall be applicable to all loans to an advance sanctioned or renew on or after January 1st, 2026. Third, these directions shall apply to all commercial banks, excluding payments banks, cooperative banks, NBFC, and all India financial institutions. Fourth, NRE shall adhere to the following directions regarding levy of prepayment charges on all floating rates loans and advances. For all loans granted for purpose other than business to individual with or without co-obligants, and REs shall not levy prepayment charges. Second, for all loans granted for business purpose to individual and MSCs with or without co-obligants. Next, commercial banks excluding small finance banks, regional rural banks, and local area banks are Tier 4, primary urban cooperative bank and NBFC, ULN, and all India financial institutions shall not levy any prepayment charges. Next, a small finance bank, a regional rural bank, and Tier 3 primary urban cooperative bank, state cooperative bank, central cooperative bank, and NBFC-MS should not levy any prepayment charges on loans without sanction amount limit up to rupees 50 lakh. Next question. NSDL Payment Bank Limited in the second schedule of the RBI Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 notified on 19th of June 2025 is the right answer of this question. It is the advice that NSDL Payment Bank Limited has been included in the second schedule of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 wide notifications dated 19th of June 2025 and published in the Gazette of India Part 3 Section 4 dated 10th of July 2025. Next question. RBI has mandated the use of the FRI system across bank and financial institution. What is the full form of FRI? Financial Fraud Risk Indicator. Option D is the right answer. On 30th of June 2025, the RBI issued an advisory mandating the use of the FRI system across scheduled commercial banks, payment banks, NBFCs, UPI service providers, and other financial institutions. The step followed the launch of the FRI by the DOT in May 2025 and is part of the larger national strategy to fight digital payment frauds amid the rapid expansion of India's digital economy. Objectives and purpose of FRI to detect and mitigate cyber threats and financial frauds at the point of transactions, to create a collaborative intelligence sharing ecosystem between telecom authorities and financial entities. Next, to reduce response time and enable instant decision making in blocking or flagging fraudulent activities. Next points. FRI classifies mobile number into three risk categories. First, medium. Second, high. Third, very high. Next, risk classification is based on first reports from National Cybercrime Reporting Portal NCRP. Second, intelligence from Chaksu platform. Third, input from banks and financial institutions. Next point, real-time action enabled by RBI. Banks and fintech platform can first block or delay high-risk transactions. Next, alert customer before processing questionable payments. Next, verify, identify before allowing sensitive actions. Help prevent UPI based and mobile linked financial frauds. Institutions already adopting FRI: PhonePe, Paytm, ICICI Bank, PNB, HDFC Bank, and India Post Payment Bank. Next question. From 16th of July 2025, all India government payment above rupees 75 crore must be made through the RBI e-Kuber system. Starting 16th of July, all payment made by central government departments that are more than rupees 75 crore must go through the Reserve Bank of India's e-Kuber system. This system is an online platform that helps the RBI settle money transfer for the government and other banks. Next points. Earlier, only payments over rupees 50 crore were required to go through e-Kuber. Now that limit has been brought down for some types of payments. The limit is now rupees 100 crore. The main reason of this move is to make the payment system faster, cleaner and more accurate. With eCuber, it will take just 24 hours to match account details instead of waiting of many days. It also helps in real-time tracking of how money is being spent by different departments. This improves transparency and ensure there is no misuse or delay in big payments. Next question. EximPay gets RBI approval for cross-border payment aggregator license. Where is the headquarter of EximPay? Right answer, Bengaluru, option D. EximPay in principle PSEB approval by RBI marks a significant step towards digital inclusive and regulations compliant cross-border trade. With its eyes set on the high growth areas Asia corridor, EximPay is prepared to simplify payment infrastructure for SMEs, leveraging its regulatory. According to founder Arjun Jhacharia, EximPay aims to grow 10x by financial year 26, targeting exponential growth to market across Asia. Next, RBI eases investment rule for banks and NBFC in alternative investment funds, raising to overall exposure cap to 20% and excluding equity investment from strict provisioning norms. Right answer, 1st of Jan 2026. Option A is the right answer of this question. The RBI has announced a significant relaxations in its rule governing how much banks and non-banking financial companies and NBFCs, together referred to as regulated entities, can invest in alternative investment funds. Under the new framework, the RBI has capped the cumulative investment exposures of all REs in an AIF scheme at 20% of the scheme corpus. Additionally, the investment by a single REs is capped at 10% of the scheme's corpus. These new directions will take effect from 1st of Jan 2026 or earlier if a particular RE chooses to adopt them under its internal policy. Some important rates as on 5th of October 2025. First, policy rates. Second is reserve ratio. Policy rates: policy repo rate 5.50%, standing deposit facility rate 5.25%, marginal standing facility rate 5.75%, bank rate 5.75%, fixed reverse repo rate 3.35%, reserve ratio CRR 3.50%, SLR 18%. So कंप्लीट हो गया हमारा लास्ट 3 मंथ्स आरबीआई सर्कुलर. काफी इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन आज का रहा है, जो एग्जाम्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. आपने लाइन बाय लाइन कंटेंट को जरूर पढ़ना है. पीडीएफ के रिगार्डिंग आप लोग मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं और डिफरेंट सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप लोग मुझे ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. वीडियो को शेयर जरूर करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें और अच्छा लगे तो अदर स्टूडेंट्स को भी चैनल का नाम जरूर बताएं. तब तक के लिए बाय, टेक केयर, थैंक यू, थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग. जल्दी मिलते हैं हमारी नेक्स्ट क्लास में.